Let the world hear your voice and be filled with it.
For the day has come for you to be a great leader.
The time has come to break away from the pain, distraction, experience the unthinkable.
The time has come for you to be a great leader. Welcome to Nkosi Talk Show, everyone. My name is Nomsa Clara Mncube. I'm the founder of Hope Spring Eternal Introduction Agency and the founder of Nkosi Talk Shows. I am your love harmonist, and with me today is Dr. Biget, our breathing coach. Please, Dr. Biget, introduce yourself to our audience.
Thank you, Numsa. So,
I can't hear you, Dr. Bigot. Okay, Dr. Bigot has been kicked out. I'm not sure if she's gonna come back. I'm not sure. So basically today, the topic today is how to continue and honoring the legacy of Bob Proctor. He was our teacher and a human mind expert. So basically, like for me personally, okay, yes, Dr. Bigot. Dr. Bigot, introduce yourself. You got kicked out. Not sure why.
oh, I think the internet was trying to help me practice one of the Bob Proctor's teaching. We're talking about Bob Proctor today, and so it says, "Hey, let's see if you have persistence to start with." And so thank you so much, and it's an honor and a delight to be able to be here and share on what are some of the thing. What are some of the thing? If you are in personal development, chances you've heard the name of Bob Proctor. His great work and teachings is in literally every country now. And so, what are one or two things that of his teaching that you remember the most? And the question is, how do you practice that? And even greater questions, as Bob's no longer here physically with us, what is it that you personally do or will do to continue this work that is meant to help each and every one of us to become even more empowered. And so please share with us, type it in the comment. We would really love to hear as we continue to learn from each other. And that's what we're going to do today, is to share how it is that we now that Mr. Bob Proctor's not with us physically, what is it that we can do for each and every one of us actually to navigate this moment of transitions after he departed, and in a way that bring greater good for all, which is always the way Bob would love to be. If you ever interact with him directly, so that is what we're here for, to share on how you and I can continue to empower and continue his legacy today. What about you, Numsa? What is one thing that jump up to you the most, or come to you as we here talk about Bob Proctor?
Um, uh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Bigot. Basically, if you don't mind, if we can go like, we can, anyone that is watching with us, if we can do like a 1 minute silence, because for me personally, I was scrolling down on Facebook and yesterday as well, and I realized that one of our matchmakers, the woman that we did training together, and she lost her husband, and I was like, so does it mean basically when you meet someone, their date of death has already been marked? Because That was 3 months ago, and her husband was handsome, beautiful inside out, and now he's gone. So I'm like, basically, it means I have to live every moment when I meet someone. I have to be basically, because I don't know when they're gonna leave the earth. I have to embrace that relationship. And can you imagine, Dr. Bickett, how many people that come into people's lives and being horrible, not knowing what's gonna happen tomorrow? So let's just go for a silent minute and just okay. It's life. Hey, for me, basically, Dr. Biggett, what comes into my mind is, Bob Proctor was basically he was many things in people's lives around the world. He was a teacher. He was an expert. He was basically an expert on the human mind. He touched millions and millions of people around the world, and through his work, I got to experience as well, basically how to create my own image. And I basically, he taught us so many things: the thought of giving, the gratitude. Basically, he shared his life story with so many souls, and his work is amazing. It will be remembered by so many people around the world. And there's somebody that you've never met. They die. Basically, you're like, but God, why? And I know he was older, and he lived his life, and is in a better place. And I hope so that is in heaven because of what he did for people. And for me, basically, I never got a chance to meet him, but I wanted to meet him, basically, Bob Proctor. I remember when a few months ago, I asked Shana to send my video to him and goes to talk show, and she did. And the appointment was meant to be arranged, but sometimes Satan always get in the way. So I didn't hear anything more. They got busy. So I said to Shena, I'll just wait for you until you actually finished, until you basically uh, introduce me face to face with him, because I wanted him to coach us at Ngozi Talk Show, but he would never got to go that far. And I remember sending a message to Shena. Never met Shena, and I sent a message on LinkedIn, and I was like, "Happy birthday!" And she came back to me with a message saying, "Oh, thank you, Nomsa, so much for sending me this message." And she sent me basically the program. Bob Proctor does events online with the Sunday. So she sent me that as a gift for basically for recognizing her date of birth and stuff. And when I opened, it was like a 5 hour, um, it was a whole program basically that people pay to watch it, 2 days event. And I was so touched. The gratitude that I had, basically, it was so amazing. I was so touched with basically how thoughtful some people can be. So I don't know on your side how basically, I know you write a lot about gratitude every single day, and when I see your post, basically before I read them, I have to think. I'm like, wow, I have to basically create the answer because I already know what's coming before I read, and that is so amazing. So over to you, Dr. Beagett.
Yeah, I would say that is one of the things that I learned from Bob and Sandy is to up level my gratitude. And they in their live events, I've been to many of the live events with Bob. So in their live events, they in particular paradigm shift, but also all of them, they are very much into emphasizing gratitude, and I'm grateful actually for the gratitude practice that they teach each and every participant in there. They gave us. I went to many, and I did. I still have this. This is one of the book. When you go to their live events, they give the book this thick book here, and so I have a few of that. That's the actually I think that's the last one from all the live events, and so they very much emphasize on gratitude, and we know that gratitude is the at the vibrations that's harmonious with the universe. So if you want to bring something into your life, if you want to solve this harmony in your life, whether you are trying to solve a disharmony in your life with yourself, perhaps you don't like something about you in life. Say you have you dislike certain part of your life, certain part of your body, or something like that, or you have a disharmony with other. The one thing that definitely very helpful is to actually express gratitude as much as you possibly can, genuinely and with a heartfelt gratitude. This is something I learned with many things in my own life, actually, to express gratitude. And and that's one thing I learned, to be grateful. I do gratitude 2 3 times a day, not just once. I make sure that I do it in the morning, in the evening, and usually somewhere in between. But gratitude is one thing that I Bob Proctor teach very much. The story that they share on a lot is for when Sandy first joined him, and she's facing multiple circumstance. She asked Bob. She said, "I really need your help with this. What do you recommend?" And Bob was quiet for a moment, and he said, "Okay, well, what you want to do is every day, every morning, you want to express and send gratitude to these people." And Sandy, being new, said, "What? I have all these things, this circumstance, all these situations, and we all have that circumstance, situations, and so forth. But what is if it is something that is so life giving and simple? But that's one thing that's make Bob is wonderful, and he is a genius. He's a genius for being able to do this. There are a lot of complicated things that can be complicated in life, and one thing that Bob Proctor is very good is actually to make it so simple, and in a way that we could all understand and practice it in life, to understand and practice that in life very much. So, what about you? What are one of perhaps two things that from Bob teachings that you still practice in life, that you and that you're going to continue?
I practice gratitude. I've learned it from Bob Proctor, but I also learned it from my parents, that you have to be grateful. Growing up, that you have to be grateful for the things that you have. So that one is a belief that was already there, which beliefs that basically took me to places where I never thought I would be, just by being grateful. But what Bob Proctor helped me with is my true authenticity. And, in life, basically you grow up and you try to follow other people, you don't create your own image. So I didn't know that I can actually create my own image and be the person that I want to be. And I can basically create my own life and basically use my mind and the energy that I want to bring into my life. And I didn't know I could do that. And he basically, just by reading his books and using his material, he made me realize actually my true authenticity is very, very important than for me to try to be something that I'm not. And he helped me to identify who is Nomsa and who do I stand for as a person. Even when I was creating my branding, my personal branding, my business branding, I'll go and listen to his work, and basically helps me to identify the false paradigm and the true one, and whatever the energy that comes, if the energy is false, I just work on that one. He basically helped me to be the person who I've meant to be as Nomsa, and look at my own belief system, because sometimes the beliefs that we have, uh, the limiting beliefs that we have, can hold us back. So it helped me to also identify my limiting beliefs, the things that were holding me back, the things that are basically, like when you basically every day you live your life, you look at your friends, you start behaving like your friends, you look at the people around you, or even the person that you have a relationship with, you start behaving in same way like that person. So he made me actually identify my own limiting beliefs and basically accept myself, the person that I am, and accept me for who I am. And I'm just looking for tissues. Accept me for who I am, and just work on myself and understanding that Nomsa is not perfect. Nomsa, she's broken, and everyone is broken, but I can actually shift and shift my mindset, my thoughts, and just create the life that I want. And just that process is so beautiful. When you go through that process, it is so beautiful knowing that there's somebody else who has done it and they are successful. And even like the gratitude, I didn't realize that actually I can, although I was taught by my parents to be really, really grateful, I didn't know that I can actually every single day look at my life and be grateful for what I have instead of complaining. Be grateful for what I have and just work on the things that I want to have, and thank God for the things that He has given me, so God can bring more. And by God bringing more things, not for me to pray, just relying on faith, relying on hope, action, 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 the power of repetition, and so many things. Over to you, Dr. Biget.
Yeah, I love that. That reminds me to the quote. And when I work with his number one coach, Kim Calvert, and the first thing that she shares, that one thing that struck her the most at the beginning was when Bob says, and Bob says this quite frequently, if you want to be free, you got to be you. So he says, if I want to be free, if you want to be free, you got to be you. Not you that your neighbors think you need to be. Not you that your parents and your sibling and even your significant other and what have you says you supposed to be. Because aren't that we all grow up, and it's normal. It's normal for us to grow up and have people expectations. I mean, as a kid, it's partly of the parent for the parent to help the kid to shape and form, and most parents will impress upon the kid on what it is that they would love. And in a way, I would say that's good for the kid. I mean, imagine if you are a kid and grow up with no direction, and your parents literally says, yeah, you can be whatever the heck you want. You know, you kind of like, do I go to school, do I not go to school, right? And so it is great that our parents do that. And at the same time, who are you? Who are you? And as Bob says, it's not you. You are not your name. You are not your name. You're not your current job title. For some of us, that could be that. You're not even the title that you have earned, like university degree and such that. And some people identify themselves with that, particularly people with advanced educations and degree become their image. I myself have that, and at some point, actually, in life, just as with many people I know, it's become my identity. And but who are you really in that, and allow that person to live the life, because as we know, life is it can be fairly short. And I think one thing that's for me that is alongside from that, allowing you to be you, is one thing that, and I have a post here somewhere, I have it posted here somewhere, actually in front of my desk across from me, that says let, you know, Bob, when you, in particular, when you go to his live event, depending on what you do, he gave you this print, this thing, and the only thing on that big piece of paper is the word let. And that was one thing that struck me the most in one, actually back in the day, watching before even attending his
What's
event.
the word on the paper, Dr. Bigot?
What's the word? Let.
I mean the word on the paper. Let.
Yes, let.
Okay.
Yes, let. Let. So the word is let, and the main thing with that is one thing that I remember watching with Bob, and this is as we all endeavor in this world to create and to create a better life. You, if you're listening for this, perhaps you do that, and perhaps you might even be at a stage right now where not only you want to create a better life, but you are working on reversing an adversity. You might be facing an adversity, you might be facing a challenge in your life, and you feel that there are so much for you to do that you don't even know how where to start, and it's going to be an uphill battle, and you got to work more and to fight more and strive more. If anybody ever feel this, I definitely used to feel this way from time to time. That's like, there's so many things to do. Oh, we got to work harder. And one thing that impressed my memory the most is watching Bob Proctor before I was even part of the audience back in the day of the day. And Bob would go to any event and he would ask, "So, how many people here think that if you want to be more successful, if you want to have better result, you need to work harder?" How many people? Raise your hand if you think so. And that's not the case. And Bob usually allow people to raise their hand, and he says that's not true. And that back in the day when I used to work 70 hours a week, it was like, oh, really? That's not the case. And now what you want, and that's where the lad come in, is actually you want to work smarter. And working smarter, it's not mean does not is not the same as working harder. Many times we don't understand that. But working smarter is working in such a way where you listen to guidance and you take strategic action, guided strategic action, that will allow you, which is something I've done twice in my life, where you actually decrease your work hour easily by 30, 40, even 50%, and at the same time double, triple, or maybe even tenfold your income. There is such a way. We all have 24 hours in this world. And so what we want to do is to learn to work smarter. And if you happen to choose, for whatever reason, you continue to choose to work 60, 70 hours a week, then, well, naturally, you will have a much even greater result. But let's say you said, okay, I am happy with the result I am, or I want to improve it a little bit, which is the way that I was in the past. Said I want to be able to improve my result, but mostly I was done. I was completely done working 60, 70 hours a week. And so I learned to work smarter instead of working harder. And yes, it does not come natural. It's something that you allow people to guide you, people who know how to do that, like Bob Proctor, many of his higher level coaches do that as well. I've done that a couple times. It's really fascinating. Oh, you can actually work 40% less and triple increase your income by 3 times easily, just like that, and do it again and again and again. And so that's one thing. But where it comes, let is a part of that. Being able to do that is to let it happen instead of making it happen. So many times we say, oh, we got to fight for something. And yes, it does not mean that you don't endeavor. You want to work it. You want to put your actions. Without actions, nothing happen. But also what you want to do is do the best you possibly can. And I think I take it to my own teaching to hold everything with an open hand. If you've been around me for a lot of time, Nums, I probably have heard me say, hold everything with an open hand, where you endeavor, you do the very best you can, but then you don't grip it. You don't say, I've got to get this. Actually, you let it happen. You say, okay, universe, this is what I do. I'm doing my very best every moment, day to day, day to day. And this is where I will hold with an open hand and allow the universe, God, whatever the term that you prefer, life, to take it and and sometimes when you do this, just know that sometimes when you do this, it seems like it's taken away from you for a moment. And then we want to freak out and we're like, ah. But just know, a lot of time when that happens, it's actually almost like the universe take it and put it through a processor and tenfold it and then put it back in your hand. And that's one thing I learned very much from Bob, back to Bob, to let it happen, to let it happen the way the universe wanted to happen. And it's continue to, and this is something that Bob's I've tend to say as well. He at some point, he's never surprised, he's always amazed. And and you will, when you learn to do that, you will find that it is very amazing that what the universe can do. The trick is to truly have faith in it, have faith in life, in the universe, in God. That even if it seems to be taken away from you, see it as gaining interest tenfold wherever it is gaining interest right now. Back to you, Numsa.
Kid Dr. Bigot, when you say you have to trust, you have to be 100% trust the universe. For me, basically, I 100% trust God because I know that um, I can give it all. But if I don't trust the Creator that created the universe, that created the earth, so I'm not going to get to the things that are where I need to be. And I love it when you say, Dr. Bob Proctor taught you that, because those are the things that I have learned as well, to actually trust. And basically, Dr. Pickett touched about, if you want to be free, you have to be you. And I'm a great believer on that one as well, because if you are not you, and you don't do things that you love to do, uh, basically you will be chained, which is a prison for somebody else's life. So for me, basically, I'm a true believer of basically letting myself free with my mistake, with my shame, with my guilty, and everything that comes with me. So basically, I'm a great believer of that, and I like it when you say know who you are as well. And when I watched him live, I was like, basically started questioning about my identity and basically my beliefs and just working on them without blaming myself. Like, why haven't I thought of this before? He basically, when he teaches, he make you really, really understand the transformation that comes with your beliefs, that when you actually decide to get rid of your limiting beliefs, the transformation is amazing. And working smarter is well. I know some people say you have to work hard. Working smarter is very, very important, basically, to actually work smart. Let things happen, because things will happen if you let it happen, not in our own time. God has His own way of basically uh, giving you blessings. So if you are somebody who is very basically not patient, you are somebody who wants things to happen now, then that faith is being tested. So I've learned so many ways just by listening to the great speakers that actually things don't happen the way we want, and also we have to let it happen. And um, that's my belief as well, to let things happen and not to question God's decision or whatever the universe, not to question the decision, because whatever the things that we desire in life, if I say God or I say universe, this is what I desire, God and the universe will be like, are you sure this is what you want? And then they will just test me with other things, and the things like, and bringing some other things to cause a destruction. Then it will be up to me to realize the destruction, to basically stay focused. Because there are some people, it's like I started my business 2018, and I see there are some people who started their businesses same time as me, and when I meet them, they've basically tried so many things, and I get confused. But I stayed focused because I know that starting a business is a journey that comes with the challenging. Success comes with the challenges, and you just have to stay focused. So, and let things happen, let it be. And those are one of the things that I have learned as well, basically to let things be and let it happen. And Bob Proctor, one of his quotes says, most people are not going after what they want. Even some of the most serious goal seekers and goal seekers, they are going after what they think they can get. So for me, basically, I've learned that as well from him as a teacher, that you have to go basically for, God, basically, He can give you anything. It's just you recognizing your talent and setting your goals and seeking them and taking action. And so I've realized that actually as long I'm willing to put the work and I'm willing to go through challenges and come on the other side, I'm willing to put up with these challenges and go through them, not around them or not running away from fear. I can be who God has created me to be. And honestly, I basically, sometimes you find me in my house and I'll be screaming and saying, whatever, any hidden talent about me, let it come to pass. Let me see it. Show me. I'll be screaming to God and saying, show me my hidden talent. If there is anything, a talent that has been buried by the enemy in my life, let it be resurrected. Let my talent be resurrected, honestly, because that was his teaching, that we are capable of doing and being amazing. As long we are willing to basically to take action and do the work, and challenges comes, you pick yourself up and you continue with the work. Some people think that success happens overnight. It doesn't happen overnight. It's a journey. If you can ask me now, if somebody can ask me with a Ngozi Talk Show, with the Hope Springs Eternal Introduction Agency, if somebody can ask me um, how basically how can I start my own business, the first thing I would be like, because the challenges as the one that, and the fear as the one that you have to be able to work on them. You have to work on your confidence as well, because and learn to celebrate you. And Bob Proctor, it teaches that as well. Learn to celebrate your winnings. Some people like to have success, but they don't celebrate themselves. They become miserable. So no point in working hard, Dr. Biggett, working on your fear, on your confidence, and going through challenges, coming on the other side on top, and then you're miserable. You don't celebrate it. No point. Over to you.
I just was going, this is what I was talking about here.
Okay.
Yeah, let's see here. There you go. You can see it better now. So let
Okay.
got this from Bob. This is from, see the back of it is the stickman that he has.
Yeah.
And so, but let it happen. And
Yeah.
I took it a little farther because the word let is Let. And if you can see the bottom one here, it says exhale.
Yeah.
So it actually come from my massage therapist. One day she's like, honey, you need to exhale more. So let it happen. Let it happen in your life. Yes, do the best you can. And I actually put here, I don't know if you guys can see it, but the first L, I put it as love. I make it as an acronym as well. The first L is love.
Love and trust.
Love, exhale, and trust. So, what is it that you love? I ask myself,
Okay.
what is it that I love? And do everything that do, do everything for what I love with love.
Yep.
And then once I do that, when I am there for the very best I can and put love into that and send love to everyone, to let go, to just exhale and say, "Oh, I've done that," and then to trust the universe, to trust life and God that that yeah, there's a saying, we take one step toward God, God or universe or life take 1,000 steps toward us, and just let it happen the way Bob says that. And so that is, and yes, it requires faith. And as and quoting Bob here, he says this at the bottom on the other side actually. Faith and fear both demand that you believe in something you cannot see. It is your choice. And so his message is have faith and allow yourself to have an understanding of things, to have a knowledge and an understanding, and allow you to have faith, and that will allow you to create what it is that you would love to create in your life. What is it that you would love? Everybody different. Numsas has a different form of, say, genius than myself and you. Perhaps you have no desire, many people don't, to become a grief transformation coach, nor to become a love harmonist. And so forth. But everyone's different, and it's not. And the way we teach this actually in grief recovery, I'm double certified in life success and grief recovery, grief resolution. And then the way we teach this, number one is, which is I usually analogize with your fingerprint. we all have different set of fingerprint. You're meant to be unique, and there's a reason your fingerprints is unique to you, because you're meant to be unique. You know, you don't have the same fingerprint as your mother, your significant other, or whomever. So what is it that you are able to? What is it that you love and would allow yourself to be and let it happen? And and always go back to ask what it is that you love, because as Bob would say, is that if you have something in life that life is calling you and you are not answering that, and you keep suppressing that, you keep suppressing what life calling you, you have a lot of worry and doubt and fear. That suppressions actually, when you start to feel uneasiness in your life, and when you feel a lot of uneasiness in the emotional state, we know this through many study nowadays, through advanced technology, we could show this, that it turn inward and start causing disease. That's what this is for. I have it on my strange, my house full of things and quote everywhere, every room, and you can name it, including on my bathroom door. And this is a very interesting thing that I had one a long while back. Bob says when there is a problem in the physical, it starts in the mind. Now, for some of us who've been through a lot of things and have a lot some physical challenge, or I call it opportunity. You might say, yeah, well, that's easy for you to say, but in the truest, now I understand, so there are certain conditions that you might be born with, or something that happened, but anything that in your physical limitations start in your mind. And so I put that on my bathroom door with a picture. Now anybody who has this challenge, and many people do, particularly nowadays, who face this same circumstance, you can try this. I On my bathroom door is a picture of a photo, a drawing actually of the backs, like the backbone, the spine of somebody. It's a drawing of spine, but it's also laced with flowers. So in my mind, it's a thriving, happy spine. And the reasons I had this is I used to have multiple different back pain. At lower back pain, upper back pain, all this back pain thing. And then one day I caught on Bob says, if there is a problem in the body, it starts in the mind. So back to the gratitude. Somebody else says, well, you can always send gratitude to the part of your body that is trying to teach you something. So what I did is I took the photo of this, and I put Bob sayings underneath it. And then I started actually literally sending as much love and gratitude and to my spine. And I'm sure when I do that, it's probably helped me to remember to do certain thing and not do some other thing. But in a matter of a few weeks, my back pain start to improve. And as long as I remember to continue to send love and gratitude to my whole body, which is a practice I do every morning, scan the whole body, then I am in such a pristine health that my doctors envy me. So if you test me in whatever he repeatedly he say, how could you possibly have result like this? This is almost not human. So if you are facing physical challenges, whatever it is, you might want to try that. Send gratitude. Now, if you need more support, more help, well, welcome to connect with me. I have transformed. Another part that he says in here is depressions. Depressions is one of the things I have transformed 20 years. Depressions and multitude of other physical challenges, heart problem, intestinal problem, back problem, and whatever that people label as problem. But it's one thing that yes, I would say let it happen, and choose faith over fear. And how would you choose faith? What are one of two things that you can do to choose faith over fear? What about you, Lisa? What do you do to choose faith over fear?
I like it, Dr. Biggett, that when you said, when you said Bob Proctor taught you to believe the things that you don't see, even in the Bible. When we read the Bible and we read the scriptures, and we believe that whatever we read, we believe that it has happened, even if we don't see, and that makes us unique. And worry and doubt, like you spoke about worry and doubt, it can make you feel uneasy, and that is so true, basically. And how you send gratitude to your body as well, and it is so true, because we can do self healing. I always meet so many people, like sometimes they tell me they suffer from this, and I look at how much medication they take, and I'm like, but you can, you can actually use self healing. You can use your mind to actually heal yourself. And they're like, I know I can do that, but sometimes I think going to the doctors and they prescribe the medication sometimes is easy. Even the doctors, for me, basically, every time I used to go to the doctors. I don't go to the doctors a lot. 10 years ago, I used to spend my time at the doctors, and the doctor would be like, Nomsa, you do know that these antibiotics, they don't actually work, but people do want them. And I realized, actually, as the time went on, the more I used my mind for healing, like you are saying, you send gratitude to your mind, is basically refusing the energy that comes to you to make you believe that you are sick. And basically I used that. And I basically, like, sometimes even uh, when I feel like my body is not good, or sometimes I feel like I'm gonna be sick, or I don't feel very well. The moment I use my mind to be grateful for what I have, to be grateful for basically God, for what He has pulled me through from to where I am, and I'm like, no, I'm not sick. I just use my mind, basically refusing that sickness, basically to be in my body. And I find it goes away, because I'm basically refusing to believe that I'm actually sick. And it goes away. And I like it when you say also, Bob Proctor says everything basically that you're going through in the physically, it starts in the mind. Basically, it's our mindset that basically controls everything. If we work on our mind, then everything will be set free from these chains. There's so many chains and so many diseases. There are so many people that are quite so many people that I've read about, like online. We have done self healing through cancer, through so many things, but apparently the science and the charities, basically, they don't allow people to say cancer can be healed. But it has happened. People have done it. And I'm like, that is amazing. That is really, really amazing. Because apparently cancer research has signed a document a few years ago that cancer cannot be healed, even if people are coming out and saying they've been healed. So it's like, wow, that's not good for people's mind and their physical body. If somebody signs a document, it's like it's cursing people. Honestly, when somebody told me this, I was like, it's a curse. But Bob Proctor he was an amazing man. He was a man that basically you watch him, you listen to him, and you go and put everything in action. And like, there are some people that you watch them, you listen to them, you feel connected to them, even if you've never met. You feel connected to that person, and you feel like you know them very well. They become like a part of you. So he was that man that became part of me in my life. And just by just listening to his work and watching him live. I've never been to actually his live event. I've never been in the room. I watched him online, but I've never been in the room with him, which I would have loved to. I think I'm gonna still need to hunt his salesman. You know, when he did the uh, Think and Grow Rich, that live. It is a 10-hour live that I saw on YouTube. I'm gonna hunt his salesman as well, which is the guy that I wanted as well. So he is an amazing man, really, really amazing. And you know, he helped me basically face my talent and know how to seek everything. Like when I pray, I don't play. When I say to my family, I'm going to pray in my prayer room, I don't go just to say, God, please, thank you for looking after me for the day. I make demands. I want to know who is Nomsa. Like you said, my degree doesn't define, it's not my identity. What I do is not my identity. I want to know what's on the inside of Nomsa, that inner me that is within me. That's what I want to unleash every single day. I want to find out, who am I? What is there anything more that I can do? I demand, I say, God, show me who I am. Show me my hidden talent. Any hidden talent that is hidden, show me. And even the speakers at Ngozi Talk Show, I say, basically, I tell Lucifer to hands off my speakers at Ngozi Talk Show. Show me anyone, I say anyone at Ngozi Talk Show that is there to stay. And if they want to be removed, basically to cause Ngozi Talk Show not to succeed, and I tell basically to back off. Because I've learned from Bob Proctor to bring the energy that I want. So the energy that I want is, I basically want the speakers, the coaches at Ngozi Talk Show to be who they want to be. And I want Hope Springs Eternal Introduction Agents to be who is meant to be and NOMSA to be. I basically don't play. It's a battleground. It's like I'm in the slaughterhouse with an enemy. That's how my prayer is when I go to my prayer room, because I believe in the unseen. And I believe that, you know, when you have great teachers around you, you basically have to put everything you learn in action. I'm not just talking about Bob Proctor and say, oh, he was amazing because everyone thinks he is. He taught me the battleground. When I got to the battleground, I have to battle, and I have to basically seek. And when I seek who I am, I have to take action. And like you say, Dr. Abigedi, let things happen. I let things happen. And when was it yesterday? I was saying, God, I was telling God the things that I'm not happy. I was telling him that I'm grateful for the things that he has given me, for the blessings that I have received, but I was telling him the things that I'm not happy, and the blessings that I'm not happy about, that I'm receiving it, but they're not really, uh, they're enough. I'm grateful, but I want more. I just want more. And I was like, even if he's preparing them, can he prepare those blessings the way they're meant to be? Over to you, Dr. Beagant.
That is so that is so wonderful. I love that when you say that that you you can be grateful. It doesn't mean that you want. Some people say, "Oh, but I would love more still," and so if that mean I'm not grateful, that's not true. You, being grateful, you are grateful for what you have, where you are. And when I teach people, and it's actually in my book, Seeking Peace, that there is a whole section in there about gratitude, and in there it talks about. Funny that you mentioned cancer. The story here in this is the book Seeking Peace, and it's available on Amazon in any country. It's how to navigate through tough times and to come out easily, effortlessly, and win effortlessly through tough times. And in there it talk about this, the other person I learned gratitude from in as in that book share is actually this old man. And he shares that one of the things that helped him survive childhood cancer and actually continue to thrive, and he never looked back. He never looked back. The cancer never come back. He passed away from old age, very old, from something else. Is actually gratitude. Before gratitude was was become the well known. Everybody said has let's have gratitude. This was be some 80 years ago now. It was actually gratitude, and it's gratitude that helped him day to day tolerate cancer treatment better as a boy, and that and naturally then he was able to do well, and then to be able to recover, and because he was able to tolerate the treatment. And it's very interesting that looking back in my oncology career, so, my background, and some of you know, but my background is in oncology. I'm a board certified oncologist, and so one thing that look back in that career, is we always hear this miraculous cancer healing, miraculous result. And I have many of the miraculous patients that has miraculous result. And looking back, every one of them is yes, you do treatment. If you have cancer, or even if you have a broken leg, for instance, and you don't do anything at all, then chances is it's not going to improve. If you got a broken leg, you go just sit on a couch, it's not going to heal well. Even if you, as a grief coach, even if you have a broken heart and you just say let just time heal, that does not necessarily mean that you might become might feel the grief less, but it doesn't mean that you heal from your grief appropriately. And if you have cancers and you just go gonna go sit down, do absolutely nothing, then it's chances the cancer will take you. Now, some people choose natural approach, and it's not saying that you must all take chemotherapy. That's not what I'm saying at all. Some people, but you do something, and then you do something, and everyone that do that, uh, that I've noticed that they actually combine that with faith is one. They always say we're going to do the best we can, and then we'll see what happens. And then the other part is everyone is grateful. The main difference between the patients that miraculous result, and everybody tend to come and look for hope, and as an oncologist you can get you learn to provide people hope as appropriate. But so everyone, many people come with hope, not everybody come with faith in face of cancer and gratitude. And the one that really looking back make a difference are the one that have that, yes, the hope, sustain hope. They sustain their hope with faith and gratitude. And when they are able to do that, when you're able to do that, whether it is the physical cancer that you have in your disease, or it's a cancer of your life in some other aspect, perhaps it's in your relationship, perhaps it's in your financial, whatever it is that feel like a cancer, just take the actions. Do the best you very can. Do the very best you can. And I would say that for closing today, do the very best you can. And you've got to take the actions, and then allow faith and gratitude to help you with that. And if you don't have the gratitude book that Bob Proctor has, the other thing that you can do to help with your gratitude is right here. Here, this is a gratitude book that I've created, and this book actually will help will allow you to, this one book is for a whole year. Nimsa has this, and in here it's a gratitude journal. It's allow you to write down your gratitude every day, and it has empty space in behind each page as well, where you can write more as well. What is it that in your life that you are instilling faith on? The gratitude journal here is available on Amazon in every country. And All the proceeds is to help empower in continuing Bob's work in empowering people. All the proceeds of the book here available on the journal available on Amazon in any country is to empower and emotionally and physically heal impoverished children with cancer globally. So get your gratitude going, whether using the Joyful You 52.3 weeks gratitude journal or run gratitude form. I ran a gratitude group online on Facebook. You can join that as well because sometimes it's good to have somebody as your accountability partner. So that is, I would say, I'm grateful for this show, talking about gratitude. I'm grateful for NUMSA for creating these shows, and I see that you have a very wonderfully empowered week and year.
You so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Pickett. And we also send condolences, our Ngozi Talk Show condolences to Bob Proctor's family, his friends, and his students around the world. We know people are going through, basically, some people are struggling to accept his death. He's in a better place. I hope he went to heaven straight because that's where he should be for the work that he did for us. And we are here at Ngozi Talk Show Monday to Friday, 1 p.m. UK time. Please, if you basically going through something, just message us, contact our coaches, and I'll connect you with whoever coach you feel you want to work with, and maybe even just a free consultation. And God bless everyone and live with grace.